Come on in, family. Peace and light, peace and light, peace and light, peace and light. Come on in here, family. Great rising. Great rising, great rising. You are watching Magic Up TV. I am your host, Seven the Alchemist. Here's where we talk about love, we talk about law, we talk about light, we talk about all things, you understand? There's nothing off the table, and here's where we say, life is easy. We make it hard. You know what to do when you get here. Hit the love button, hit the share button, let somebody know that the Alchemist is in the building. Carmen, peace, queen. How are you? Great rising. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit that share button. Protecting yourself in the season of you. Protecting yourself in the season of you. Boy. I've missed y'all. You know, we are in the fourth quarter of things. Time has changed. Light is doing its thing. And oftentimes we get into this realm, and there's two different energies that abide. There are those who are in a place of this vibration where they're melancholy or sad or depressed, right? And then there's that energy where they're people who are really excited about what's to come in the start of the new year. And so as we transition from the third to the fourth quarter, I think it's very important that we learn the importance of protecting yourself, both energetically, spiritually, time-wise, right? During the time when you are trying to heal and or you are trying to build. For a lot of us, it's very hard for us to conceive the thought that right now is only for me. Some of us have a hard time with that concept. We're so busy giving our energy, giving our talent, giving our time. Oftentimes, it's that moment when you have realized that there's something really special about this season and you're trying to consume this energy for yourself. It's right around that time when you start getting bombarded by everyone else and their needs, everyone else and what they have going on. It's almost like a beacon goes out in the universe. Like, uh-oh, Tamika's about to grow. Snuff it out, snuff it out, snuff it out. How many of you all have experienced that? It's like right when you're at that edge of the breakthrough, it's like, and we see it on television, we see it painted in film. Right at that moment is when everybody starts coming in for you. We have to learn how to protect ourselves. We have to learn how to protect our space. So I found an article that spoke to 10 amazing ways on how to protect your space. I know that since the retrograde, I've taken my space. You know, it's when you have committed to doing a work that is much larger than you, oftentimes you really do have to take a moment to re-energize. And the larger the vision, the more energy it takes to move it, right? Especially if the team is reduced to a certain amount of people, or if it's just you pushing this boulder along the mountaintop, right? And so we think that we have to give everyone this time, this energy, this space that we have, this talent. Oftentimes, sometimes, to validate what it is that we're doing. Some of us have been operating in our craft for years, and now it's time for us to grow, and then we start digressing. We feel like we have to sacrifice our talent and trade it to others who don't have as much talent as us just to receive help or just to get something back in return that once we get it, we realize that it really ain't. We realize why they not at where we are. And that's not a jab at those who are not where you are. It's just that you have to understand, in order to get to a higher place, you have to climb, you have to reach higher. You don't reach lower. Sometimes in reaching lower, it makes us feel better so that we can go after what it is that we want. We know we balling at a college level, and then we want to go play with some middle school kids just for them to say, oh, wow, you're amazing. Instead of going and balling at the professional level, because why? Once we get to that professional level, we know they're going to be like, oh, well, your crossover ain't really all that. What you should be doing is this. We don't want to be ridiculed. We don't want to be judged. And even in that, we have to understand that sometimes those that are above us, those who have traveled past where we are, sometimes they don't want to see us in that seat. They see you coming. Sometimes you could be asking for help from the wrong person. Sometimes it's that person that don't want to see you in that seat. They're like, oh, damn, once Tabitha get there, I might have to push a little harder. I might not even be around. They might forget about me. So shit, I might have to tell her she might have to go away for 2 months, 2 years, 6 months. I done seen healers that tell people that they ain't allowed to do nothing for a year. They sit their students down like, yo, sit down. Now, sometimes you do need to sit down. However, sometimes you could be doing too much. Sometimes you're giving too many things your time, even if it's your shit. Some of us are so good at so many things, we start giving so many things all of this time. Instead of cultivating a few of those things or one of those things until it blossoms into something amazing. And then scheduling time to give something else that time. So how, Seven? How do you protect that space? How do you protect that? Some of you, all you're doing is just grabbing a candle and saying a mantra. But you're not doing the other work that's involved. So you still feeling drained. You waking up in the morning feeling drained. You going to bed feeling drained. You're like, oh my God, like what is going on? I can't understand. Especially for those of you who are healers and teachers and have your own students. Especially for those of you who have your own business and have clients. Those clients, oh my God, sometimes they can see when you're about to break through the ceiling or something. And they feel like, oh my God, if she leaves us, where are we going to be? We can't have her doing that. She'll be on stages all across the world. What's going to happen to us? He's going to be on stages all across the world. What's going to happen to us? Have you experienced that? So how do you protect it when it's coming from everywhere? Even your children. Sometimes your kids, they see it. They like, shit, mama been out the house a little too much this week. We got to create some conflict to keep her in here. Hey, pay attention to us. Daddy ain't been around for a while. We got to create some conflict. Pay attention to us. Sometimes it's your mate. Sometimes it's your husband, your wife, your king, your queen, your god, your goddess. Uh-oh. The queen been doing too well. Too many people got their eyes on her. I don't know how I feel about that. Pay attention to me. Your wife in there feeling some sort of way. You got too many female clients. Hold on, pay attention to me. So how do you protect yourself? I'm glad you asked. I got 10. I got 10 of them for you. I got 10 of them for you. You know what to do when you get here. Hit the love button, hit the share button. Let somebody know that the Alchemist is in the building. You can't block what's for me, because it's for me. You might have delayed me, but I'm never denied. Ashe. Ashe. Now, since Magic Up TV is all about becoming better, how do we even become undelayed? Oh man. Some of us, we only grab the magic when we're in a hard space. Some of us, we only go for the candle when we're in the hard space. We only wear the malas when we're in a hard space. We only do these things of healing and protection when we're in a hard space. But what happens when you make it an everyday practice? What happens when you make it a monthly ritual? What happens when you put it on your calendar every 14 days, check in with self? Every 30 days, check in with self. And now you're able to pull these rituals out and you're starting to do these things on an every 14 days, every 30-day cycle. Now it becomes almost impossible for people to delay you. So let's talk about it. Number 1, target your triggers. See, magic is about the resolve. How did we get there? There's so many ways in the universe. There's not just one way. There's so many ways in the universe. But if we don't start in the root of things, if we don't have an identity of what triggers us, what sets us off, and a lot of times when people talk about triggers, they associate negative reaction with it. But let me show you one thing that's more dangerous than a negative reaction. The feeling to always have the help. And that has triggers. You have a trigger where you will drop everything you're doing just to go help somebody else with something. You'll drop everything that you're doing just to go pay attention to something else. You'll drop everything that you're doing, everything that you're passionate about. And there's a trigger as to why that happens. It could be rooted in the most positive thing. Oh, well, I love the kids, so whenever they calling me to come and look after the kids, I'm going to come look after the kids. And while you looking after their kids, they doing whatever the hell they need to do in their life to manifest and maximize things. Well, I just love to help, so whenever they call me for this, I'm there. And it don't have no type of reciprocal energy to it. It's just sucking you dry of your energy. Now, it'd be different if there was something else that you got from it, but you know what I'm talking about. Set, identify, and target your triggers. And then on the opposite side of that, what are the things that annoy you the most? Some of you all are just swallowing it. You just swallowing it. You just consuming these annoying shits of life. Just annoying bites of life. You just biting it up. Just, well, they put it in front of me. I guess I gotta eat it. I hate this shit. I hate this shit. I hate this shit. And that's all you're doing. Every day, all day long, you just consuming the shit you can't stand. Why? Because you haven't identified the fact that you can't stand it. That's the first reason why. Well, why am I eating all this shit? I didn't even know it was shit. Damn, 7, I didn't realize that's why my bowels is fucked up. I'm out here eating other people's shit. Damn. Number 2, let go of any kind of toxicity and negativity. Toxicity and negativity. For so many of us, listen, we willing to think about our friends. We willing to think about all these other things. But start with the first fruit. Some of y'all waking up and can't stand to wake up because the way you going is full of toxicity. It's your job. Y'all wake up next to toxicity. It's your mate. Wait for it. Y'all get up. Go look in the mirror at toxicity. So many of my alchemy students, I have a course, a 4-week course called Alchemy Academics. And I would tell you how many people come to this course thinking that they got their shit together. Seven, I'm good, I'm straight, I'm cool. And I start asking them a few things. What's the first 5 things you say to yourself when you look in the mirror? The first 5. And you can lie to me. But right now, y'all thinking about them 5 things you done said in the mirror when you woke up this morning. You know what I'm talking about. And then you come out the mirror and then you talk all these positive things into the world. But the first 5 things you spoke to yourself might not have been that positive. Think about your lifestyle. Are you living where you want to live? Some of you wake up, you set the candles, you got the kumbaya, you got the meditation music, all is well. And then as soon as you walk out the door, pop, pop, hey bitch, motherfucker. It's so loud, you done put soundproof shit up on the door in the living room. Your kids like, do we live in a studio or what's going on? What are these things that you can change? Though you may not be able to change everything, what are some of those things that you can change? Do you have some bad habits that greatly influence the quality of your life? Some of it could be, see, it's so funny. They talk about drinking and smoking and all of these things. Some of you consume your time with other people's business. You didn't even know that was so toxic. I didn't even realize that was so toxic. Seven, all I do all day is talk about whatever else is going on. What Shamika doing, what Tabitha doing, what the president doing, what the government doing, what's going on with COVID. You know what I'm saying? If you do, acknowledge them and start working on getting rid of them. This is the recipe for success. Focus on the things that you can change and find the courage to accept those things that you cannot. Now, some of those things that you cannot change are only not changeable in the moment because you have not accepted what they are. How can you change things that you haven't accepted? How can you change things you haven't acknowledged, right? Number 3, surround yourself with people and things that add value to your life. So many of you are just in these circles of just succubuses. They just sucking you dry. Everything around you just sucking you dry. All these circles that you're around just sucking you dry. And some of these things may not appear to be negative. You may have a bunch of students that's just asking you all these questions. They not paying for that consultation. You done did 4 and 5 consults for them. Now they sliding in your DM. They thinking you friends. They thinking hey, let me ask you about this. And let me ask you about this. And then your phone ringing. Let me ask you about this. And you done set your time or hours here, or your hours of operation from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Them shits though, the phone don't ring until 4:45, 4:55, 6:25, till 9:25, 10:50 p.m. at night. People just calling you, asking you, can I, may I, man, yeah, can you, will you, Why don't you become one of those people? Why haven't you sucked on to somebody? Whether that be from a consultation perspective, whether that be from a personal perspective, why aren't you aiming for higher or grabbing from someone higher? You letting everybody grab at you. In this moment, practicing minimalism is a very key focus and talent, right? I know you like to go out, you like to hang out, you like to do all of these things, but that's also sucking you dry. You spending time with all of these people, spending all of this bread, doing all of these things. These things are taking up your time and your resources. That money could be spent towards your business. That money could be spent toward, you know what I'm saying? Your passion. That money could be spent toward creating that thing and those things that has been designed and set in your path to illuminate and elevate you. This isn't the time for you to be, you understand, to be shopping and doing these things. This is the time for you to consume you. Number 4, create a safe haven at home. The world is knocking you around. Everything is coming at you full speed. If you don't have a place in your house, 7, I don't have an extra bedroom. I understand that. Create a corner in the living room. I don't have a corner in the living room. Okay, no problem. Create a corner in the kitchen. Create a corner in the garage. I don't have a corner in the garage. Hey, look, let me tell you something. You got to be responsible. You don't have a corner because you got so much shit piled up over there. You got all these clothes that you ain't worn in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 years. Filling up a closet that you could have created a safe haven. You could have created a place of zen. Your home should be your safe space. When you're feeling sad or anxious, if you don't have an extra room, create it. You can decorate it, candles, even if it's a small little nook. Spirit don't need all of that. Spirit already occupies all of it. It's trying to occupy you. You understand? And you don't need all of that. Start small if you don't have all of that. Start with what you have. Even if it's just a corner on the dining room table. You have to be responsible for this part because no one else will be. It's no one else's duty. It's no one else's responsibility. Number 5, take a break from your virtual life. You all haven't seen me in weeks. I practice what I preach. I don't have to be on here every day. I don't need the popularity like that. This isn't for me. Take time. Take a break from your virtual life. Detox from the virtual world, especially social media. Because both you and I know that most of us spend way too much time on these devices. You're not even making money with your devices. I can't tell you how much money I've made off of social media, yet still I put it away from time to time. Number 6, connect with nature. If you were to listen, I open my door and I just hear that water falling. I open my door, I see the trees. There's a bird nest right there. Nature will fill every fiber of your being with positivity. You will start glowing from the inside out. You can go for walks, organize picnics, go hiking with your friends. Touch the ground. Take your shoes off. Take time to observe the creation of things. Take time right now. We're in the fall. Find you a favorite tree. Learn the magic of speaking to the trees. And right now, the trees are teaching us a lesson. Right now, the tree is going through its own stage of growth or self-reflection. So what is it doing? It's shaking itself loose from everything that weighed it down. The leaves are coming off. The buds are falling off. I spent all year creating this shit. It's my time. It's my turn. Fuck that. Get up off me. Look at how much we can learn just from watching nature. Number 7. I got 3 more, y'all. Number 7. Express yourself. Express yourself. This is your time. This is your time. Create. Express yourself. Splash paint on a big canvas. Find a DIY project. Draw something. Sing. Make music. Play on an instrument. Write a poem. Write a story. Write a book. There's so many ways in which you can express yourself. Do you understand that creativity is the universe's gift to mankind? Everything that we enjoy, someone had to create. And oftentimes that creation didn't come when they were feeling at their best. Sometimes the best creations came in the valley of life. Sometimes the best creations came when it was time to shut the world out. It's unfiltered. It's unbiased. It's pure, even if it's created in frustration. It's pure. Some of us, we get into our mood and we'll cut on a song, and that song will speak to us and them tears will start rolling. But if they didn't feel it in the beginning, the song wouldn't have been made. You wouldn't have had nothing to hold on to in that moment of emotion. So many people tell us not to express ourselves when we're hurting. So many people tell us, oh, just go heal. Don't say nothing about it. Don't speak on it. Why not? It happened. Why do I get to shut up about it? Why do I have to keep silent? What if this is the one thing that's keeping me from soaring through the air? Healing needs truth. You cannot heal without truth. You cannot elevate without truth. Because that one thing that you hid, that one thing, no matter how high you get up, it'll be that pin that pops the balloon. You'll forget about it because you suppressed it. You didn't deal with it. And then one day, in the midst of the morning, it comes back. That's why creating also helps you connect with your true self. When you're creating, you can't help it. It flows through you if you allow it. Hand, you are not my hand. You are your own. Be as you wish and express yourself. Give your limbs permission to be what they are instead of yours. Hand, you no longer belong to me. Be as you are and express yourself because I'm holding you back. Eyes, be as you are and not my own. See what you are meant to see, not what I'm trying to shield you from. Mouth, speak what you are, not of me, but as you were designed to speak, because I have been holding you back. Once we can be honest with our own limbs, once we can be honest with what we are, man, imagine. So number 8 is so important. Scheduling me time. Not just taking it. Some of us just Just take it. We just take it. But we realize if it wasn't scheduled, things always come to interrupt it. But when you schedule it, you can curate it. Oh man, you can let everybody know I'm going to be gone for an hour. I'll be gone to November. Gone to November. January, February, March, April, May. Do not bother me. I cannot stay. I'll be gone. Right? You can curate that space. You can cut that phone off. You can put it up. You can light those candles. You can have that bath already prepared. You might not have even had to do it. You go and get that massage. Go get your feet rubbed. Go out for lunch. Go out for dinner. No one can bother you during this moment. You start to realize, damn, I've been denying myself. You start to think of things you haven't thought of before. You start to wow, when I close the door, the only thing I can hear is myself. I didn't realize how beautiful I was. I didn't realize how creative I am. I didn't realize how strong I am. I didn't realize. Wow, I am smart. No wonder they've been coming for me. Which leads us to number 9. Once you start to realize these things, once you start to identify, now it's time to start setting healthy boundaries. I tell this story many times, long before in business. With the branding company, majority of my clients were entertainers, club promoters, and entertainers. And they would hit me at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. I'm trying to be with my wife. I'm trying to be with my kids. But that was how I was eating. And oftentimes we feel like we just got to do anything because we need it right now. We just got to do it because we need it right now. But no, not when we go back to number 1, it's a trigger. Yeah, it's making us money, but it's pissing us off in the same regard. So I decided one day, I said, you know what? If you can't call me between the hours of 10 and 6, I can't take your money today. I'm not doing nothing. If you can't, between the hours of 10 and 6, because if it's after that, then it'll have to be set up for tomorrow. I'm not doing it. I lost more than half my clients that year. More than half. But I made more than 3 times I had ever made. I made way more. My projects were classier. My projects were national now. I got global projects now. Why? Because when we go back to, what was it? Number 2, when we talked about thinking about your lifestyle. So many of us are doing these things because we feel like we got to do it, but it don't match the lifestyle that we're looking for. So now you got to set some boundaries. You want to mate, but now you realize you're dealing with somebody where you just carrying them. Or you realize you're dealing with somebody that they just a warm body in the bed. You don't really want them. You got to start setting some boundaries. You realize this person is taking up too much of my time. This business is taking up too much of my time. My kids are taking up too much of my time. My job is taking up too much of my time. This TV taking up too much of my time. This food, this unhealthy diet is taking up too much of my... Now it's time to start setting some boundaries. I'm only going to eat this on Fridays or Saturdays. I'm only going to do this in the morning. I'm only going to be like this on the weekends. I'm only going to allow this for this. I'm only going to... And you'll start to realize, wow, now I'm a little lighter. I don't have to be all things at all time. We feel like we got to flap that cape all day. Da, 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 da. You don't see it on my chest. But you don't have to be all things all day. I'm a recording artist. I'm a shoe designer. I'm a fashion designer. I'm a graphic artist and brand creator and manager. I'm the alchemist. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a king. I'm a healer. I can't do all of that in 1 hour. I can't do all of that in the same hour. I can't do all of that. You understand? So I set boundaries. Now I have more energy. Now I have more consciousness, a clear thought. I tell people when I'm designing, I can't talk on the phone while I'm designing. That's a boundary of mine. I don't like people sitting next to me while I'm designing. That's a boundary of mine. It makes me anxious. You have to be able to identify with these things. Number 10, meditate. How do we protect ourselves? How can we if we don't know who we are? How can we protect things we don't know need protecting? And the identification of these things oftentimes come in meditation and self-reflection. In the moment of meditation, I can consume the energy of the universe. I can consume the resources of the universe. I can tap into the bandwidth and the frequency of knowledge and information. I can tap into the wave of creativity. I can tap into the rooms of protection and hide myself. I can jump off the walls of life and fly. I can be all things. I can go all places. There is nothing shut off to me in this moment. Nothing. There is not a desire I cannot obtain. There is not a thought that I can't own in this moment of meditation. I don't have to walk. I can fly. I don't have to run. I can crawl. I don't have to do. I can rest. Just in that moment, I created a moment of meditation. You didn't even see it happen. Because some of you think that meditation means that you got to be quiet. Some of you don't meditate because of your idea of meditation. You've got all these preconceived ideas of what meditation is. You don't even attempt to connect. Simple gestures, simple posture, simple tone, chanting, silence. Breathing. You can even change up your breath. You can sway. It's yours. It's yours. Your meditation is your own. The goal is reaching you. The goal is expanding. The goal is reflection. The goal is seeking. The goal is stillness. It's yours. And the more that we practice these 10 behaviors, the more we practice these 10 rituals, the more protected we are. And as we practice these things, this is now where you start to implement other tools, whether it's a celestial code, whether it's a code of protection, whether it's a manifestation code, whether it's candles, whether it's oil, whether it's incense, whether it's sage, whether it's, medallions and different trinkets. Now it's time to implement those things. Why? Because now they have been set and charged in the absolute vibration. Now they can do their job. You understand? When a person is looking to become a bodyguard, they don't want to necessarily be a bodyguard for someone who is antagonizing people. They wanted to protect someone of value and of worth. They wanted to protect someone, you understand? But they didn't want to protect somebody who was out here antagonizing people and who didn't understand peace. Just as your candles and your oils, and you're overworking your tools by not being. You're overworking your tools. It's like having a gun. You done created so many enemies. All you did was put one clip in. You got 17 bullets. But you done created 32 enemies. Just because you got a gun don't mean it's going to keep you protected. But if in the harmony of things, you have reduced that number, because you ain't going to be able to keep yourself from having haters. But now that you only got a few because of your posture, now you're jinn, now you're spirit team, now you're warlocks, now you're witches, now those things, now your spirits, they can be of more magnitude. That force field. Remember Black Panther? Remember in Black Panther, they had the force field. They had the force field. That shit worked forever. That force field worked forever. But when Thanos brought that fucking gang with him, they couldn't keep him out. So you have to understand. Some of y'all talking about, oh, that magic ain't working. Shit, me. Some of y'all talking about, that don't work. Shit, me. But you got to be willing to heal self first. You got to be able to reduce the toxicity. You spirit team get to a point where they be like, shit, fuck it, let them through. They ain't really about that life. Let them through. Maybe if a few of them get in, then they'll start to realize they ain't really about that life. They just pretending. So before I wrap it up, I've got 10 mantras or 10 quotes for those of you who want to stick around. You understand? And I want you to write these down. I want you to say them after I say them. Okay, and they're quotes from different people, famous people, whomever. Okay, number 1. Do not let the behavior of others destroy my inner peace or your inner peace. The Dalai Lama. Do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. Do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. Number 2. And I'm going to copy and paste these in the video as well. Number 2, never be in a hurry. Do everything quietly and in a calm spirit. Do not lose your inner peace for anything whatsoever, even if your whole world seems upset. I'm going to say it again. Never be in a hurry to do everything quietly. Never be in a hurry. Do everything quietly and in a calm spirit. Do not lose your inner peace for anything whatsoever, even if your whole world seems upset. And that's from Saint Francis of de Sales. Number 3, you should feel beautiful and you should feel safe. What you surround yourself with should bring you peace of mind and peace of spirit. You should feel beautiful and you should feel safe. What you surround yourself with should bring you peace of mind and peace of spirit. Stacy London. Number 4. And once again, I'll copy and paste these in the video. Number 4, you'll never find peace of mind until you listen to your heart. You will never find peace of mind until you listen to your heart. George Michael. Number 5, and this is, wow. Number 5, if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. Lao Tzu. Wow. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. That is so powerful. That one right there, that one right there. Number 6, peace is a result of retraining your mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. Ooh, we getting some jewels today, y'all. We getting some jewels today. Now you see why I've been gone for 4 weeks. Look, peace is a result of training your mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. Wayne W. Dyer. Wayne W. Dyer. Number 7. This feels good, don't it, y'all? This feels good, don't it? Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Don't do me. Look, this Magic Up TV. I told you, I got to share this shit. Peace is a daily, a weekly, a monthly process, gradually changing opinions, slowly eroding old barriers, quietly building new structures. Peace is a daily, a weekly, a monthly process, gradually changing opinions, slowly eroding old barriers, quietly building new structures. John F. Kennedy. Number 8. I got 2 more of these, y'all. Number 8. Peace can become a lens through which you see the world. Be it, live it, radiate it out. Peace is an inside job. Again, peace can become a lens through which you see the world. Be it, live it, radiate it out. Peace is an inside job. Again, Wayne W. Dyer. Number 9. Being relaxed, at peace with yourself, confident, emotionally neutral, loose, and free floating. These are the keys to successful performance in almost everything. Again, being relaxed, at peace with yourself, confident, emotionally neutral, loose, and free-flowing. These are the keys to successful performance in almost everything. Wayne W. Dyer. Last one, y'all. If there is no inner peace, people cannot give it to you. The husband can't give it to you. Your children can't give it to you. You have to give it to you. Again, if there is no inner peace, people cannot give it to you. Your husband can't give it to you. Your children can't give it to you. You have to give it to yourself. Linda Evans. Peace, Queen Latifah in the building. I am grateful I obtained my peace. Ashe, what is some of the things that have given you all peace? This one is a hard one. Absolutely. I am at peace. What if you're all three? All three of what? What if you're all three? Natalie, all three of what? I was flowing, girl. I was in the spirit. I'm gonna do a creative exercise with my kids this afternoon. Ashe, make sure you do a creative exercise with yourself first. See? You see what happened? Jizzle? We talking about you first. And this is what we do. It's by nature. This is what we do. We think of others before we think of ourselves. We must create this energy for ourselves first. And then those who are watching, they observe it. And then we invite those in that we wish to invite in. Right? Our children are great observers, terrible at interpretation, right? So they're going to observe anyway. They're going to observe anyway. And then once you've gotten it, then you start to teach it. Then you start to expand it, right? You're spot on with this one today. Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate that. Perfect day to clean and clear your way to manifest and come through. Ashe. I like it when the truth is being spoken. Ashe. Stop hoarding. Ashe. Ooh. Stop hoarding. You know, I found it to be interesting when I was in church, when I used to go to church. People would talk about these sins all the time. And you don't realize how much hoarding keeps you from growth. You know, and it's easy to find value in so many things. We want to hold on to this because that happened that day, and we want to hold on to this because that happened and this happened, and then we realize again that we're only living from yesterday. We're not really living in today, and we really not giving much light to the future. Hoarding. So what's some of the things that you all have done to get your peace? Cutting off people that aren't reciprocating energy has been giving me peace. Ashe. Anxious, depressed, and at peace. Yeah, you know, it's easy now. It's easy to be depressed. It's easy. It's very easy. It's very easy to be anxious because those two come from the same place, just mirrored, right? And we can be depressed about not being somewhere in the present. But the present is teaching you something. The present is giving you something of its own. And if we spend so much time today depressed about what happened yesterday, not healed by what happened yesterday, then all we're doing is loading tomorrow with the same pain and the same hurt. We never get through it. It's a consistent cycle. It's just never ending. It's a revolving door. Some of us feel like we got to hold on to the pain. And some of y'all women, man, I really, being a man in this space of healing, you really have to have empathy because those who come for healing most are women, right? Statistically speaking. And as a man, I have to be very careful as how I talk about healing, right? Because as a guy, it's a little easier for us to shut things down, right? Like, bow, I'm done. That's it, over, right? But understanding a woman and the emotions that is involved with that, one day you may think that you're healed from it, and then all of a sudden it just pops up on you, you know what I mean? Because you didn't really spend the time with it. You just thought you did, right? Or you feel like you have to be strong in that moment so you can't deal with it, or you don't have time to deal with it, or it shouldn't deserve that energy from you because you got to be strong. And it's not until you spend time with women in healing that you can have that kind of empathy as a man, right? And so my sisters that come to me, they also realize, though, as a man, I don't let you hold on. As a male in this healing space, I also don't allow you to hold on to that. Like a lot of your girlfriends like to pat you. They like to coddle you into healing. And that may work for some people, but for those of you who are progressive in life and those of you who are, hard chargers and that kind of stuff has been known not to really be of effect. And we have to take hard looks at ourselves and say, listen, it's okay. It's okay. Stop that shit. I share with my clients, I share with my students the most 3 magical words in magic. Not the most magical, but just, in my opinion, 3 of the most magical. And I'm going to share that with you. I know this might have been a long video, but look, Spirit is working. You ready? In my opinion, the most 3 powerful words in magic. Fuck that shit. If you say it to yourself a few times, you'll start to get the understanding of it. Because you can't have the piece of today with all of that on you from yesterday. And then you can't plan, you can't be in posture with so much on your shoulders for tomorrow. So you gotta find a neutral balance. Fuck that shit. I'll get it. Either I'll get it or I did it. It'll happen or it did. But only because I am going to move in the moment of now, in my healness of now, in my wholeness of now, in the now that I am, not the now that I was. Stop caring what people thought about me. Oh, woo. That is a daily, even for me. It's so many things that I'll be wanting to share with y'all as the Alchemist. There's so many things that I endure in my private life and in my personal life and in my professional life. And because I'm so public, or because I do so many things, I know the moment I talk about it, people gonna know who it is, and people gonna know what it is, and I be trying to protect that, and I can't always protect you. I can't always think about how it make you feel. I can't always think about how you're gonna feel about this. I I have to be who I am. I gotta, or it's gonna kill me. Saying no and accepting that I own others nothing but my true self. One of the most powerful words in the English language is no. Oh, it's so hard to say. It's so hard to say, Seven. I be wanting to say it, but I can't. I know I got too much on my plate. I don't even have a half an hour for myself. I spend my lunchtime helping other people do stuff on their lunch break. But saying no doesn't make you mean. Saying no doesn't make you an asshole. Saying no means that I've created some boundaries, and this is one of those things that I've set for myself, and I just can't do it. Consistently practicing self-love and self-care and doing shadow work gave me peace. Ashe. You know, that shadow work is hard the first few times. I ain't realized I was such an asshole. Ooh. Now I got to deal with that for a minute. Now I got to sit in there. I didn't know I was such a mean girl, Seven. Some of y'all come and y'all have the most beautiful spirit in public. And then we get to talking. You mean as hell, girl. You mean as shit. Woo. Lord Jesus. Woo. You said that? Oh, God. You did that? Oh, God. I don't understand, Seven, why the spirits be on me so. I try to get past a certain place. I sat with a man one time. I sat with this guy one time. Of African, he's from Africa. He's African. So anyway, he was talking about his problems, right, in his relationship. And I said to him, I said, man, I can tell already you one of them type that is do what I say all the time. Oh. Oh. And I started making noises. I started telling him about himself. And he said, damn, Seven, I didn't realize that I was so difficult. Sometimes we get what we get because of how we are. Stop people pleasing. And no does not need explanation. No does not need explanation. Jesus is in the building. Peace to the gods. Peace. Look, Jesus, I'm trying to tell him. No does not make you mean. No does not mean, you know what I'm saying? Choose me first. Make me a priority. You know, when the message was how to protect yourself in the season of you, right? And so we're taught that being selfish or thinking of you, you know, is a bad thing. But there's a season that comes when you have to be consumed of self. You just gotta. And, you know, fuck how that make other people feel. No does not mean you don't care. It just means, I can't do it. I hope that this video has helped some of you all. It'll, hopefully help you to understand why when you don't see the Alchemist, what's going on. I am involved in so many projects. I only take on so many students. I only take on so many clients in my life. In professional, from the branding, you know what I'm saying, to other things, to the magic. I only take on so many clients. The Alchemist Academics course is a 4-week course. I'm very hands-on with my students. We get extremely deep because this course is not just about self-empowerment. It's about self-reflection first. It's about teaching you the basics of alchemy. You understand? And then there are the rituals. You understand? There's a lot of energy that goes into my rituals. These rituals really do work. And so I have to be careful as to where I spend my time. And you know, I show that from the top. Also, you have to be careful when you start bubbling. When you start bubbling, there's people in your past that come for you. They come for you any way they can. They come for you. Their goal in life is to fuck your vibration up. That's it. They are hating everything you do, though they cannot stop watching. They can't stop watching. They create phony profiles. Their goal is to tear you down publicly. You gotta say fuck that shit. You gotta say fuck that shit. You understand? Because whatever that is, whether you did it or not, you get the chance to rise above it. Whether you did it or not. If you didn't do it, you don't have to explain anything to anybody. You owe no one anything. And a lot of you are afraid to grow because you're afraid of what's going to be exposed. I was going to get off, but Spirit had that last piece. Some of you are afraid to grow because you're afraid of what's going to be said from a public platform. You're scared that you're not going to be able to control the comments, and you won't be able to. Fuck that shit. You understand? You cannot grow being so concerned or being pulled down by the strings of others. If you allow yourself to have strings, then they're going to pull at them. And being public means they get to say anything they want. It doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it right. But if you are going to elevate, you understand, everyone has something to say about the sun. It's too hot. It ain't hot enough. I remember when the sun burnt me. Stay focused. I love you all. Peace to man, woman, and child, and all things that walk the earth. As above, so below. May all things be balanced and well alignment. Dua, dua, as I send this magic and this energy and this love back to you. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. Share the video. You have been watching Magic Up TV. I am 7 the Alchemist. Peace and light.